Do you want to know about any possible legislation, regulation, or policies being crafted by the Liberal government around their anti-blasphemy motion, M-103? I do too, but unfortunately it's a state secret. Today I'll show you the documents. Remember M-103, that was the so-called anti-Islamophobia motion that the Liberals and their press secretaries at the state broadcaster assured us had absolutely nothing to do with any sorts of laws being crafted around preventing the criticism of Islam. Rather, it was just a study into the state of Islamophobia in Canada. The CBC published articles after more articles about why M-103 would be perfectly fine and was nothing for any of us to worry about. But the text of the motion calls upon the government to recognize the need to, quote, quell the increasing public climate of, quote, hate and fear. Quell? That means do something to extinguish what the Liberals have decided are hate and fear. And they call everything hate. And these things are to emotions, not actions. The government wants to prevent emotions. At Rebel News, we called it an anti-blasphemy motion that would infringe on free speech, because criticism of any religion, including my own, should not be illegal, or for that matter, examined by the government. M-103 also called on the Heritage Committee to study how the government could develop a government-wide approach to eliminating and reducing systemic racism and religious discrimination, including Islamophobia, Islam being the only religion mentioned in the motion. The government was then supposed to use the results of this study to create a, quote, awareness campaign regarding Islamophobia across Canada. So we asked for the records regarding this awareness strategy or campaign detailed under Canada's anti-racism strategy that came out of M-103. And what we got back is comically redacted. The access to information return is 161 pages long. However, the bureaucrats only bothered to give us the first 13 pages and then redacted the remaining 148 altogether. And the 13 pages they did give us are nearly all blacked out, nearly useless. I mean, just look at this. On page 1, they've even redacted the title of the racism awareness campaign. That's a secret. Let's read some of the few things they've left in the document. Introduction and context. Budget 2019 has provided the Department of Canadian Heritage with ... that includes the development of national anti-racism education and awareness campaign. This is a national awareness campaign that we can't even know the title of or what it entails. For awareness and beyond. Now check out page 3. They have no idea of milestones, by month, ? Estimates, or any goals whatsoever to measure the success of this awareness campaign we are apparently not supposed to be aware of. So these bureaucrats have no clue about what any of this is supposed to achieve. It's almost like they announced this with no clue of what it will actually do or what it should do, except shut you up and paint Canadians as hateful. Also on page 3, the dutiful bureaucrats black out the budget estimates for the program. However, on the very next page, they leave the budget totals in as the only thing on that page that's not a classified state secret. Look at this on page 4. Budget 2019 proposes to provide $45 million over 3 years starting in 2019-2020 to support a new anti-racism strategy. Its key purpose will be to find ways to counter racism in its various forms with a strong focus on community-based projects. The proposal below, and then that is completely blacked out. Now, the bureaucrats claim on page 13 that they have to redact all of this, over 140 pages, because it falls under the advice to cabinet exemption, section 21(1)A and section 21(1)B. So what are the bureaucrats advising cabinet on, if not for the purposes of drafting censorship legislation? The rest of the document, at least what was released to us, just goes on about transferring a Treasury Board employee over to Heritage to work on this policy initiative or future legislation that we absolutely cannot know anything about. We're going to stay on top of this because I don't think the government should be allowed to draft laws that censor you in secret. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Friends, I don't know about you, but I need a break from Justin Trudeau. And that's why I'm happy to announce that Rebel News is going on a cruise, and you can come too. Just go to rebelnewscruise.com to get all the details.